to be absorbed in the divine light of God, that we are totally like the metaphor of the flame that is surrounding us when we do a mitzvah. When we study Torah like we're doing now, that we should be absorbed in divinity, in the Shekhinah, in the divine presence of God. So we have, as we are engaged right now, in study of Torah. But what's absorbed right now of us in our study of Torah? Well, what's engaged in the study of Torah? Primarily, it is the thoughts of the individual. Speech too, as I'm speaking words of Torah, but primarily it's the thoughts of the individual. So for example, if someone's watching this right now and their thoughts are elsewhere, you're not fulfilling the mitzvah of Torah study. Fulfillment of the Torah study means your thoughts are engaged, right? You're thinking what's going on over here. You're grasping the teachings. Then you're absorbed in the light of God. But what's absorbed in the light of God in the study of Torah? It's basically the divine soul's act or a property of, or the lavush, the garment of self-expression of the divine soul, its thoughts. And again, speech, when you will speak the words of Torah as I'm speaking them. But the Shekhinah, the divine presence, is only engaged in the spiritual component of the individual, the divine soul, and its garment of thought and speech. But if you want to bring the light of God, that it should radiate upon the physical body of the person and the animal soul that animates the body, Torah study is not sufficient. Why? Because the body's not involved in it, right? There's no bodily action involved in Torah study. It's a mental activity, the mind's activity. So it's going to be the soul, the divine soul, and the thoughts of the individual, and again, speech, that will be absorbed in the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God. But to have the body of the individual, that it should be absorbed together with the animal soul that animates and gives vitality to the body, you've got to fulfill a practical mitzvah that's involving the faculty of action, of doing. Like the act of putting on tefillin. There's an action that's going on over here when you put tefillin, or you extend your hand and you take money and give to charity, whether in a pushka to a person, whatever the case may be. Now, the actual power to do that is coming from the animal soul giving vitality to the body that it can do the act of the mitzvah. And therefore, the body is absorbed together with the animal soul in the divine light in a perfect unity in doing that act of a mitzvah. Because when you study Torah, there's no action involved. But when you're putting on tefillin, being charitable and the like, then the third garment of the soul, of the divine soul, is involved, plus the physical body itself and the animal soul that gives vitality to it. So now what's absorbed in the divine light of God, in the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God, into holiness, is not just the divine soul, but the animal soul and the body too. Ooh, this is now something new. That it too is absorbed. Just like the divine soul is absorbed in through the doing of a mitzvah in the divine presence of God, the light that is surrounds it and absorbed in that light. So likewise, the animal soul and the body. For to do a mitzvah, the divine soul can inspire us, but a divine soul can't get you to do a mitzvah. It can only inspire you to do the mitzvah. The actualization of the mitzvah can only be a body, because an action of putting on the tefillin, the action of giving charity, the action of lighting Shabbos candles, and so on and so forth. Divine soul can inspire, but it doesn't actually do it. What does it? The body. Well, where's the body get its vitality from? Not from the divine soul, but from the animal soul. So imagine that because now it's engaged in that action. We're not talking about intent over here. That will come. Right now we're talking about the action. So the animal soul, the vitalizing soul of the body, is the intermediate to the body that allows the body to do the action, because the divine soul is too spiritual and it has no immediate connection to the body. They're the antithesis of each other. The animal soul does, and therefore gives the vitality that now you can do that act and be absorbed in the divine light of God. Just as this divine soul is absorbed in the divine light in the act of a mitzvah, so is the animal soul and the body that's engaged. It's very powerful. And again, what's important over here is to appreciate, we're talking about in the act of just putting on your tefillin. We're not talking about intent over here. That will come, not now. We're talking about just the action of doing. That's what we say. Just do it. Just do what you got to do. The act itself, you'll be absorbed in the divine light. Where's your heart and soul and your mindfulness and your intent, your kavanah? Okay, we'll get there. But just be aware that in the very act itself, you are absorbed in the divine. Your body that's involved in that action, your animal soul that gives the vitality to the body to actually do the act, and of course the divine soul. All three components of us. Very powerful and empowering. Any questions, any comments? All right. I see no questions or comments. Rambam coming up. There will not be a TRC tonight. There'll be Thursday instead of tonight. Torah portion will be, I'd start a few minutes early, but it will be. In any case, beautiful. Thank you all for being here, being a part of our daily beautiful routine that becomes every day seeing amazing golden nuggets of the Alter Rebbe's wisdom for us. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zurich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing week, an amazing, great day, and Rambam coming up. Thank you. Torah studies will be tonight, yes.